Streaming your games doesn't have to be expensive, and today we're going to be putting the two best budget cards to the test.
And those two GPUs are the RX 9060 XT 8GB and the RTX 5060. Which one is the better option for live streaming on a budget? We're going to talk about that after today's sponsor.
Picking out gifts for people over the holidays is always a challenge. But if you want a recommendation from me, today's video sponsor Raycon, their Everyday Earbud Classics are a must-have. I've been using the Raycon Everyday Earbud Classics pretty much every day since I got them. Whether I'm out for my usual jog, running errands, or just chilling at home watching shows on my phone, they're the earbuds I reach for over all my other ones. Raycon's Everyday Earbuds Classic are packed with cool features. They've got active noise cancellation, multi-point connectivity so you can pair with two devices at once, and a super comfortable ergonomic design that stays put no matter what you're doing. My favorite feature though is the awareness mode. It allows me to listen to my favorite podcasts while I'm out and about or working at the office, while still being able to hear what's going on around me. Here's the kicker though. Raycon delivers the same premium audio quality as the big brands, but at half the price. Add in over 3 million happy customers and a 30-day happiness guarantee, and there's zero reason to overpay. Plus, the Everyday Earbud Classics are here for the holiday season. Just click the link in the description or go to buyraycon.com/toastybros to save up to 20% this holiday season. And be sure to order by December 15th to guarantee delivery by Christmas, because great gifts, they shouldn't show up late. Big thanks to Raycon for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get back to it.
So here in front of us, we have two of what we think are the best and newest budget GPUs. They both have 8 gigs of VRAM. They're both very competitively priced in the $260, about $300 range.
Now, the time recording this video, the two models we have right here, one is the ASRock Steel Legend 9060 XT 8GB. It's a 3-fan card, it's about $289, and this Asus Prime RTX 5060 is right at like $310 to $300. So you are saving a little bit of money, go with the 9060 XT 8GB, but we're actually recording this video the morning after AMD already said they're raising prices on pretty much everything. So I'd imagine these cards are probably much closer together, around $300, but you can still save some money with this GPU. Be sure to check price by using the links down below. But what we did was we built this gaming PC right here without a graphics card for us to test both GPUs in the same system to see which one is the better option for live streaming. We're actually going to live stream on a single PC setup with both GPUs, test a couple of games. We're going to be playing some Arc Raiders, we're going to play Battlefield 6, and then we're going to play Clair Obscur to show you guys what it's like across a wide range of different games to see if the visual quality is good and the FPS performance you get in gaming is adequate enough with both cards. But let's talk about the PC we built, and then we'll dive into the specs of these GPUs.
So the PC that we built ended up being, at the time of planning, about $725. Now, currently with RAM and SSD pricing, this build's probably closer to like a $900 something build without the GPU. So we have the Ryzen 5 9600X. This is a 6-core 12-thread processor that about $193 to $200. It is the best bang for buck CPU on the market, the best upgrade path. It takes DDR5 RAM. It has Gen 5 support for these nice new budget graphics cards, and we can't recommend it enough for live streaming. The 9600X does not come with a stock cooler, so $17 for a really nice tower cooler that matches the aesthetic of our build is a no-brainer. Now for the motherboard, coming in at $149, we got the ASRock B650m X3D, which is a board that we haven't exactly heard of, but it kind of just looks like the normal M series boards that we normally get. $150 for a DDR5 and Wi-Fi board, not too bad. You can sometimes get them cheaper, like $129, all the way up to like $200 something if you want a higher end board. But this one has a lot of USB ports and stuff on it, so it's gonna be really good for streaming. Now here's the fun part, RAM. We got Crucial Pro 32GB, 5600 megahertz. It's CL46, so it's on the slower side, but it is DDR5, and it's gonna be great for streaming. And the biggest thing is that it's 32 gigs. That's gonna be really good for streaming. But at the time of planning, $169. I missed those prices because now this RAM would be around $300 to $350, and it hasn't stopped going up. Who knows, by the time this video goes live, it might be $400. I hate this market. Now for $78, we got the Teamgroup G50 1TB Gen 4. Now this drive was around $78. I think now you're looking at closer to $90. The storage isn't moving quite as fast as the RAM in terms of price hike, but 1 terabyte's gonna be plenty to be able to load up OBS or whatever your streaming software is, and honestly a few games. We're gonna be running all the games straight on this 1 terabyte Gen 4. We don't even need a separate drive for our games in Windows. Next up for $50, the Rosewill VSB 650 80+ bronze, and it comes with ATX 3.1 connector. Pretty sick. It's also semi-modular, so it's a really good power supply for the price. And lastly, to store all of these parts, we got the Thermaltake View 170 TG, because tempered glass, $69. Not a bad price for the case. The only thing that's kind of weird about it is you do have to run that 24 pin. I just always like pointing that out just because it's a little bit of a more intermediate case to build in to make it look look really clean, but it's micro ATX and it's cheap and it comes with some cool fans.
If you guys didn't know, we actually build gaming PCs over on twitch.tv/ToastyBros. We're gonna be doing some game streaming today, but when we stream over there, we build gaming PCs like this one right here that I built while Jax was getting his wisdom teeth removed. So fun time with that. But let's go over some of the key specs of these GPUs that you should know when you're deciding which one to go with. So first over the RTX 5060, once again, we have an Asus Prime model here. This card with a launch price of $299 is a PCI 5.0 by 8 GPU. It comes with 8 gigabytes of GDDR7 VRAM. And our specific model right here comes with 3 DisplayPort and 1 HDMI out. So you got 4 monitors to work with. And for the 9060 XT 8GB, once again, we have the Steel Legend Edition here, but it is a $299 GPU that is PCI 5.0 by 16.
And this one's a 3-fan model, so it's kind of comparable to that card there. And I think the port, oh, it actually has one less port. This one actually has 2 DisplayPort and 1 HDMI, so throw it away.
Throw it away. Not enough for your streaming setup. You guys need at least 20 monitors for live streaming. But hey, we're gonna get to live streaming. You guys will see the live streaming test. We'll go back and forth between each game so you guys can decide which one is the better option for streaming.
All right, so we're testing out the RTX 5060 right now, and then we're gonna be versing that against its competitor, the AMD RX 9060 XT. So we're doing 1920 base 60 FPS. And we are currently using NVINC H264, which we will probably not be using, obviously, on the AMD card. 8,000 kilobits per second constant bit rate, a good quality slow preset. So stream should look pretty good, full 1080p. We're not upscaling or downscaling the res, we're just running it native. Now in the game, this is the important part, is how does the stream look? We know that Nvidia, for 20 years, it feels like, had the advantage when it came to how good the stream looked and how untaxing it was on the hardware. So I'm getting destroyed by bots. What we do know is that now supposedly AMD is on the same level as Nvidia. You can get the same quality, the same, ease of streaming use. And we're looking at a pretty constant FPS right now, actually in Battlefield specifically, like 125. See, these dang fake frames, I can't hit any shots. We don't even have upscaling on.
We have fake frames, so we're complaining about the fake frames.
I think guys, the internet's like down right now. So that's like only reason I'm missing shots is the internet. Oh my god. I got killed by Bat Skin Robbins. Oh, one thing I do want to point out too that I don't know if we often mention, but whenever we do these videos, we are both recording and streaming on OBS at the same time. It's a fun fact, you can do that. So if you're wanting like really high quality, like, lossless video of your stream, you can record while you stream. I do think that we're probably suffering a little bit of performance loss. I don't know how much. Maybe it's none, maybe it's a lot. Tune in for next episode to find out. But I can see here on the bottom, we're only using 3.5% of the CPU for one of the tasks. Yeah, no, it's feeling good. Now RAM wise, okay, this is the fun debate. 8 gigs of RAM isn't enough. It's a throwaway card. We're streaming Battlefield at very respectable settings. It looks good. It's performing good. And I know you're all in, just based on that phone I'm seeing, it looks amazing. This looks like if I had the personality in the audience of like Shroud or something, they could be streaming on this for sure. A big streamer. Yeah, if you're just getting started, not only don't invest in 2 PC setup, but don't spend $4 grand on your first PC just to start streaming. You don't need to. Don't listen to these stupid people in the Toasty Bros Discord server or Reddit or wherever. Because I promise you guys, they're all enthusiasts. They just think you need way more than you do. And normally those people don't even make a living doing it. Yeah, all I'm saying is the people that have the loudest opinions are the ones who, they don't even do this like we do. They not like us. Yeah, I think Battlefield, it's looking really good. The performance isn't gonna change. We're not dropping anything. Everything looks really good. We are using close to our full 8 gigs of VRAM, but do I see any negative effects of that? No. Yes, so this is a subtle foreshadowing, but yeah, we're on the proper 8 gig 9060 XT. We've tested the 5060 and it was really good. I mean, at the end of the end all be all, that's really cool is we're streaming on 8 gig cards just fine. And obviously we accidentally threw in a 16 gig card in the test. I have to wonder if like where would the 16 gig, unless we're playing certain games, really be any better. But hey, as far as compared to the 5060 goes, I feel like we're getting a little more FPS. We're on a different map. The quality, it's hard to tell because it looks really good in OBS. So we'll have to compare. We'll have to compare and contrast, but we're looking pretty good. We're using all of our GPU. We're using almost all of our, oh my goodness, that's a lot of enemies. Preview is smooth, not getting any chop. We're holding a pretty constant 60 FPS. We're streaming at about around like 5,500 to like 6,200 kilobits per second. So I think a little bit less than we have it set to, but that's to be expected. Never going to be perfect, All right, but we'll see if we can get a couple more kills here. I know McAllister craves me killing people.
Craves
He craves murder.
No regrets.
Oh, did we just snipe each other? Oh my gosh, we did. I forget that I can get res. I've just been like, I say I can get res. Nobody does that. All right. This is last life right here, guys. This is going to go crazy. Oh, we have people in chat. We got Midnight and Xenos.
Why that? How's the stream look, by the way?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Don't look at me, L Tank. Imagine this is like my sniper perch right here, and I just do one of thems. Don't look at me, Tank. Oh my god, there's two tanks?
Double tanks.
Yeah, that's it. All right, well, yeah, Battlefield. So it seems like we got to check the quality, but FPS-wise, on a different map, just a little bit more, nothing too crazy while we're streaming at least. So we'll have to kind of compare and contrast here. I think it's time for ARC Raiders. Yeah, actually, no, let me double check. I don't think I showed Battlefield settings, so just in case. We don't want anyone to think we're... All right, so yeah, we were just like the 5060, medium graphics quality. Show this real quick. This is the medium preset. This is where the magic happens. We were not using any upscaling, which would probably help a little bit, but we didn't need it really. All right, we're in ARC Raiders now. But yeah, we are in a full-on match right now. We're on a pretty open world, and we're running some pretty crazy settings, I feel. Let me get into this. Yeah, everyone probably thinks you got to run like low settings in this game. You don't got to do that. Enjoy the good looks, guys. 1080p, unlimited frame rate. DLSS to quality on the Transformer model. I don't know if Transformer will work with, I guess it won't because it's Nvidia. We're gonna run FSR in quality. If we notice like a drastic drop in FPS, we might tweak some settings, try to get similar, but high settings and even medium ray tracing while we're streaming. And you can see the GPU, even though it's almost at 100%, we're only using 5.3 gigs of VRAM. So also shout out to a game that has a respectable amount of VRAM usage, but it's looking pretty good. It's a very, this game's a looker.
And it runs very well on a lot of things.
We're using 16 gigs of RAM though, so that is the one thing. If you're streaming, 32 is pretty close to essential. I mean, if it's a really cheap build and you're streaming low-end games, yeah, you can still do 16. But in this RAM economy, get 32 while you still can, you know? Why is there two? He probably has a not free loadout. How are these guys not fighting? Did I queue into like a fill lobby? You know, I did forget though that this is a game of choice and they might literally be I think they're literally working together. Either that or they're on a team and I'm somehow in Stop! Where's my mic? Stop, please stop! Oh yeah, ARC Raiders, for the little amount you did get. It ran really well. I think it's going to do great into the AMD card too, but let's give it a go. All right, so borderless full screen again. AMD FSR 3 set to quality. A little bit different than Nvidia. With Nvidia, you know, we run DLSS and it gives us a couple more settings, but we did quality. Loading into the same map this time though. So Battlefield, not exactly apples to apples, but this should be, yeah, looking pretty similar. I think we're still using a lot more RAM than we were in the Nvidia card for whatever reason. And hey, in this current RAM economy, y'all may not be getting 32, but we do definitely recommend 32 for streaming, by the way. If you're streaming these kind of games. This was not on purpose. This was, we just...
Oh, what the hell is this?
That was a shotgun. I'm really boomer when it comes to like healing and stuff. We're definitely gonna either make it out of here alive or dead. Is he dead? Oh. Bro, what the heck?
Hello?
Oh no. Yeah, no, this game's very efficient. It's very streamer friendly is a good way to put it. Because you could run this on lesser hardware, lower settings, you know? It's crazy how many sounds are going on down here. I don't know if there are people above me maybe, or there's just like a freak hiding in the corner over here, you know? Where does this end? Okay, it ends there, okay. I forget that there's another side too. I don't hear anything now. Oh God. Oh God. Get out of here, bot. We got yeah, that's 2 successful exfils, I think. Yeah, let's do this. All right. So now Matt is going to be testing our, we call it a AAA, but it's like, let's call it a quadruple A.
All right, guys. We are loading into Clair Obscur Expedition 33. AAA title, a little bit of an older one. Actually, it's not, you know, I say AAA. It's just a very demanding single-player game because AAA this is actually made by a small company. Why it's so popular is actually made by a small studio. But really cool game, really fun game, but a single-player story game that's very demanding. And we're going to do the test with the 5060 to see what the performance looks like in that scenario. So it's kind of what we're focused on here. And I'll show you guys the settings once we load in. All right, so settings, we're currently running high settings, DLSS set to quality, 1080p, and high settings across the board. Make sure we are consistent with that with our other GPU. It's borderless windowed, but the capture card thinks I guess it's a 4K monitor, so it thinks it's doing 4K, but no, it's running at 1080p. I am noticing on the playback, maybe it's just, you have to see the stream. I'm wondering if it's lagging on that, if it's doing the whole, like, I'm over 60 FPS lag. It looks a little choppy, but that could very well just be my playback looking at this, so they can be the judge. Jackson could pull it up and see, but again, this is an open world game. We're at 100 plus FPS. This is more than you need for this game. If you have 60 FPS, you are perfectly fine. So I most certainly would be running those lower settings as well. I'm actually curious. Let me see the settings real quick. This feels like really good. It's framed. That's why. Let's apply that. I was like, FrameGen was set to auto. It's still really good, but FrameGen was set to auto, which I have no idea what setting that was running at. So to keep it consistent, I will just turn off FrameGen and make sure that actually turned off. Yeah, FrameGen's off. Okay, so we'll leave that off for now, just to keep things a little consistent, but we're still getting 100 FPS. In this game, FrameGen's actually not horrible. I'm gonna play this in a while, by the way, so. Oh God, I forgot I just like disabled everyone, so I couldn't give spoilers. So now I just have one character, that's fine. Easy peasy. Oh, did I get our turn? Wow. Beautiful, easy peasy. Yeah, about 80 to 90 FPS on average running around the Spring Meadows area. Getting 100 at times, which is, I mean, this is incredibly playable for those settings. And you could even do a little 1440p because VRAM, we're only at 6 gigs of VRAM right now. Shout out to a game being optimized, you know, it's actually running very well. And we don't really need much RAM. We're currently at 11 gigs of RAM being used. So this is a good example of a game that is running perfectly fine, story-based game that you can stream, record, and have a good experience. But yeah, this one, very quick and easy, looking pretty dang good, 90 to 100 FPS. I'm pretty happy with this one. But now that we finished testing the 5060 on Claire Obscura, let's see what the 9060 XT 8GB can do, and then we'll come to the conclusion of this whole streaming test. All right, let's see. All right, well, perfect timing right there. Okay, so let's make sure we're running the same settings. So let's go to here. Now, remember I had to run TSR on medium because with this graphics card, there's no FSR in this game for some reason. I don't really know why. So we're running TSR. It's either that or Intel's upscaling, which I think TSR would be better. So 75% on the high details. And we are getting, let's see, let's get into a fight here. That's about 105 at that point. Okay, we'll wait till we get to 105. We're getting about 90 to 100 right here. Again, VRAM wise, not the bottleneck. Again, we're literally live looking at the benchmark over there. It seems close.
Yeah, and something that Matt and I were talking about too is the fact that it seems like the card isn't any better physically.
Yes.
It's like the exact same. They just slapped another chip or whatever.
Yeah. When we're comparing this to the 16 gig one, it literally feels like in the games that aren't requiring the extra VRAM, the cards are basically the same. And from our research, it does seem like that is true. That there was a little stutter right there. That does seem like it is true. So it's really, if you're streaming, you're trying to save money, especially in this market right now, saving money is incredibly important. You could just go with the 8 gig card, stream, be fine, as long as your game's allowed and as long as you are actually playing at 1080p. So, but in terms of 5060 comparison, these look very similar, like very, very similar, but it's all going to come down to performance-wise, what will this look like versus the 5060 with the actual finished stream quality. Hello, little guy, I'm going to destroy you. RAM usage is actually a little bit lower, but it's only off by a gig because, again, I could just be playing a little bit longer, probably get up to 11 gigs, so I would take that with a grain of salt, but not too bad. Not too bad. You've been mocked. And boop. Oh, you dodged that? Oh boy. There you go. Now you're done. Let's go. Hey, FPS looking incredibly similar. I'm going to stop the recording and make sure everything looks good. But now we got to look at this. We got to dive into each one of these, see what the results look like, see if the visual quality is any different. Then we'll come to a conclusion about which one's better for streaming. Because performance-wise, some scenarios, the 9060 XT is a bit faster than the 5060. In others, it's very similar to the 5060. But what does the stream quality look like? You guys would be the judge. You already have seen it, but we'll have to see it.
So by the way, some subtle foreshadowing, you might have heard us talk in the live stream about a 16 gig 9060 XT, but where is it? Well, we accidentally grabbed a 16 gig off the shelf the first time we did this whole entire video, so we had to go back and redo it with the 8 gig card, but interestingly enough, the results didn't really change for a 1080p streaming video.
It really did not. And in terms of the games we were playing, again, we're playing at 1080p. So it, again, falls in line with if you're just playing at 1080p, you really only need a card with 8 gigs of VRAM. The performance was very similar and the results are the same conclusion. Whereas the streaming quality in certain scenarios on the 9060 XT 8 gig looked a little bit worse. But again, we are just using optimized settings that are recommended by people in the streaming community. So you could do some optimizing compared to what we did on the AMD hardware side of things in OBS to get even better visual quality. But it was one of those where if you're an average person watching your stream, they're not gonna care or even point out the fact that, huh, you have an AMD GPU, your stream sucks. They're not gonna notice the difference anyways. But there were some scenarios where the 9060 XT 8 gig actually was faster than the 5060 and it performs the same as the 16 gig apparently on this accidental result that we ended up with in the games that we did test at 1080p.
So while we were streaming, we also ran 3D Mark, and on the RTX 5060, we got a score of 12,179, and then on the RX 9060 XT, we got 14,138. I have no clue where those extra 2,000 points go exactly, because yes, the 9060 XT 8 gig, slightly better, but I don't know if 2,000 points better really makes a whole lot of sense. But the Toaster Bros conclusion: we suggest going with either one of these GPUs if you're looking to get into entry-level 1080p live streaming. I say entry-level loosely because if you're just doing 1080p, what game can't it run even with only 8 gigs of VRAM?
It's all about price. And just in this economy where RAM is gonna be incredibly expensive, if you can save yourself 20 or 30 bucks going with the cheaper option, if that does stay the same, and again, price and availability, links down below, our affiliate links, they will help us out. It would be a good option to go AMD because AMD is definitely not far behind Nvidia when it comes to live streaming quality anymore, and you could stream and do a good job streaming with either one of these options.
But as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's test. If you did, make sure to check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/ToastyBros, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
See you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.
Now, PCBros.tech, RAM prices, SSD pricing, trying to pick your GPU, it's all kind of annoying. We actually have builds that are pre-configured, like, premium streamer, budget streamer, builds that you can just buy and go ahead and start streaming with.
Whatever you're looking to do on your PC, we got you covered. Well, unless it's illegal stuff, and we can't support that. But you know what? Just buy a PC from PC Bros today. Use code ToastyBros on checkout. You will save 3% on your next purchase. Take advantage of our holiday sales. See you guys later. Goodbye.